All right. So
Yeah.
on to Trump's obsession with people who look like his wife or any number of his wives.
Even if they're black.
Even if they're black.
Apparently.
Or a man, apparently. It was revealed to us over the course of the past couple of days that there were pictures of JD Vance practically dressed in drag, wearing a wig and what appeared to be a
There was
skirt.
no practically about it, D. Don't sugarcoat it.
Well, I mean, it's not like he was like Drew, RuPaul's Drag Race
Everybody
style.
Can't be that fabulous. But he tried. He tried. I get it.
He was in that
he
one.
He was giving energy.
What'd you say, Carol?
Even shave.
Right, he didn't even shave. No, he was in that one picture with like his hand brought behind his head. He thought he was a bad bitch. But yeah, so
You a bad bitch.
JD Vance is never, he ain't never beaten allegations. Like if you thought it was unscrupulous to infer that he might have had sexual relations with furniture, I mean, this is doing nothing to help those allegations.
I don't kink shame.
I don't either, but this is the party that specifically targets, the LGBT community, specifically people who dress in drag and drag shows and such. They paint them out to be the devil and make all of these incendiary attacks.
The couch is a sin because he can't get it pregnant and it for whatever.
I mean, there are a lot of.
Then that couch is a miserable couch cat lady, I guess. Well, my cat loves my couch, so I guess that makes that couch a cat lady.
I mean, there are a lot of women who can't get pregnant either. So, like, how do we draw the line in that regard?
Well, you know what?
That's to ask them if they tried or if they wanted to.
But you know what? You saying that, D, is something that, yes, Madam Vice President does not have bio children, but we don't know why that is.
And I ain't asking.
Something it ain't so like personal,
but it's none of even our business. Bingo.
It's none of our fucking business. But you know what? When Doug Emhoff's ex-wife, when she made her little post and made her statement, she's like, I'm just gonna say this and leave this here. No notes. She has been amazing to Doug and my kids for the past 10 years. She has been their mom. We have co-parented. And even his parents, when there was going to be a seniors for Harris, and his parents were like, how can I get in on that? Like, I was like, they love her. I was like you two, it is not for me. And she owes us no fucking explanation of why she does not have bio children. She owes us none of that.
No, you don't ever ask. You don't ever ask a dude who ain't got any kids why he ain't got no kids, and why the fuck you gotta like put those social pressures on someone just because they're
on the woman.
Yeah, just
but then if a woman was if it's just about kids, then okay.
Well, she's got to
want to denigrate women that have kids. And
those and make their lives difficult and destroy. Yeah, it's just it. Regardless of the situation, they just find a way to use it as some kind of attack. But back to JD Vance here. Obviously, it's pretty clear.
JD Fancy.
So after these pictures were released, someone on Twitter said his drag name was Ashley Furniture, and I just found that to be the most hilarious shit I ever heard in my life. They won the internet, whoever that guy was. But clearly,
somebody called him JD Vance and Queen, and I can't.
I mean, he was already getting hit with the Vladimir futon, and now this. I mean, it's pretty bad. But this is just yet another indictment of Trump's failure to run a reasonably functional campaign, right? You did no vetting of this dude whatsoever. You didn't ask no questions. You didn't even do like a internet search history on this guy, because there's all this information that suggests he was a dumpster fire before you had to pick him, and all you had to do was try and find half this stuff. And
you know what? Somebody had mentioned something, and they were like, when is Trump going to realize that the Heritage Foundation and JD Vance are just waiting to get in office so they can 25th his ass? And I was like, that makes all the fucking sense, because I really absolutely believe that, because the way that Trump has turned against it, I'm not with Project 2025, and JD Vance is all in. He wrote the foreword, he wrote the blurb, in Kevin Roberts' book. I think that that's their ultimate goal. I have zero doubt of that. So when someone had posted that, I was like, you know what?
I don't know. Like if he won again,
they'd have to poison him slowly with
yeah, I think they'd have to kill him. So yeah, they're not going to 25th him. And part of the reason why is if he somehow managed to pull off this
victory. They're going to Navalny him?
86.
I mean, if he pulled off this victory, he would have so much political capital that I don't think, obviously the people he's going to appoint to cabinet positions probably taking some kind of loyalty oath or sworn fealty to him or whatsoever.
But we all know, though, that JD Vance was not Trump's pick.
No, I'm sure
he was the Heritage Foundation's.
It probably partially, but it also just Trump's nature to not pick someone who compliments him or brings something valuable to the ticket. He likes to have people that, one, he can control, and that, two, double down on the Trumpy shit, right? He wanted
somebody that's not going to overshadow him.
Also that. So he also
wouldn't have thought that JD Vance would kind of
You look so cute.
The negative press. Kind of taken some of the attention, but maybe I don't know if he was smart enough to have a forward-thinking plan that he would choose someone with.
Okay, you already lost me at smart enough because that's not a thing, Karen.
What?
You lost me at smart enough. That's not a thing.
Yeah, Trump's not smart enough. No, but like I was saying, like he didn't do any vetting.
No plan to choose an incendiary running mate to get to make his thing. Well, like
that's why he never would have chosen
just little girls.
Burgum, because for one, Burgum has way better hair. Two, he's an actual billionaire. That was never going to be a thing.
No, period. But the reason why JD Vance is incendiary and Trump didn't, Trump didn't bother to do his due diligence, and that's why Vance is so incendiary. But also, I think beyond that, Trump also wanted someone like clearly who would do what Mike Pence wouldn't on January 6th and certify those fake electoral votes.
Which JD Vance has said that he would have not certified the election.
Exactly. And that's more than just, him being Heritage Foundation / Elon's panty boy. No offense.
Look, we need to do some deep dives into why this motherfucker changed his name. And I was talking to Jackie's C, and I said, you know what? I feel like there's some nefarious shit going on here because, one, if you look at when he changed his name each time, it precipitated an event. He changed his name before he went into the military, before he enlisted. He changed his name again when he met his wife. I personally, and this is just, I know we don't do reckless speculation much anymore.
Reckless
speculation is that
was the disclaimer.
When he changed his name and enlisted, we don't get sued. He was running from something. You cannot.
He talked about in his book how he was dealing with some identity issues in his youth, possibly surrounding,
He's dealing with some serial killer issues. Okay?
Well, that might be possible, but dealing with issues of his sexuality and not being sure whether or not he was straight or gay. I mean, there's also a happy medium in between there. I guess
Look, David and I got married, 4 or 5 months ago. And I haven't changed my last name because it's such a pain in the fucking ass to get a new social security number, get new passports, whatever. Yeah. This motherfucker went through the whole ass process of it.
A bunch of times.
Multiple times to go, and then you got to get all new papers. So you ain't doing that unless I don't know.
Right. And these are the same people that are talking about Kamala Harris not having an identity and changing who she is, even though she's the same person she's always been.
Well, no, Laura Loomer was was it Laura Loomer? It was one of those other MAGA influencers, and they're like, are they really married? Why is she Kamala Harris? Why doesn't she go by her husband's last name? It was I don't know, maybe the same reason that fucking Tiffany Trump doesn't go by Tiffany Boulos, because her husband's a fucking Lebanese raised in Nigeria, motherfucker, or
same reason why Nikki Haley don't go by Namrata.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but no, I'm sure.
Like an oil, but like an oil heir.
What'd you say?
His dad was. So what I have gathered, just in the research of what I did on Michael Boulos, is his dad was working in Nigeria, which is where Tiffany Trump's husband grew up. So he was like not necessarily a diplomat.
What'd you say, Carol?
A whole bunch of shit going on.
Prince.
Oh, he's the Nigerian prince with the email.
You know what?
That's where all the money from the Nigerian princes went to that guy. He's the only one who answered the email.
I'm just trying to get back with the Gambia because I should have took my chances with the Gambia when they were sending me all those DMs back in the day wanting to get married. Maybe I could have got me some dual citizenship. I should have shooted my. Is that shooted a word? Shooted my shot.
Shot your shot.
Shot my shot. With the Gambia.
English is such a beautiful language.
Next time you get it right. But yeah, maybe JD Vance can take your spot down there in Gambia. But obviously, like we said this at the time on the podcast. I think I said it even on Tony Michael's show, like the day the pick was announced. This was probably the worst vice presidential pick in modern history, that will, at least in televised history. And that's in a world where Sarah Palin exists. And like, that's proven to be true. Like, the dude is polling so unpopularly. It's almost it's unreal numbers. I don't think I've ever seen a VP pick poll in negative numbers weeks after the announcement.
The way that JD, and this may be an unpopular opinion, but I was a Republican, and just looking in a strategizing type of way, Trump should have picked Nikki Haley to be his running mate.
Well, he couldn't for the reasons we spoke of before, largely because she likely would be a Mike Pence in the sense that she's not going to be willing to overthrow the government.
But as
Trump's
far as
behalf.
votes, I'm talking about votes. I'm talking about polling. I'm talking about.
Yeah, he could always kill her later. I mean,
standing. Nikki Haley.
Yeah, you're talking about winning the election, but this is like Trump's thing, right? He doesn't think about winning an election in terms of expanding his base because he's never done it. He got elected in 2016 with a minority of the vote and spent every day in office never trying to reach out to people who didn't vote for him. He only tried to consolidate the base even further.
But he's got a little pimp. I don't know what's his name.
Oh, my God, Jesus Christ! I'm not talking about this. Why are MAGA rappers so bad? We'll have to get into that.
Women like me.
My Gucci loafers are good. I got to take these off.
Oh, okay. Thanks for sharing with the podcast. We can't see your shoes, but we appreciate that you fly down there as well. You don't have to prop your feet up. I know it's probably some people listening or watching this on YouTube.
Got that buckle, baby.
Yeah, watching this on YouTube. They just got their fetish fix in for the rest of the podcast. Carol's in bed. You're holding up your shoes like they don't need anything else. They all.
But you know what's so crazy? I was telling David, I bought these shoes in 2000. I was at Saks Fifth Avenue in New Orleans, and they were $300.
And you got like every penny out them bitches.
They're like about $1,000 now. But I used to wear them every fucking day, and you can look at the bottom, and they look flawless, like they've never been worn. And I was a rich bitch back then, but.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on another podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, your shoes are fly. You got your money's worth.
They are fly. I did.
Those are the ones that are hand assembled, right? I might be wrong about that. We'll get the fashion guy on here. Derek can talk about that one day. The other Derek, not me, the one from Twitter who does the menswear shit.
Oh, who does the yeah, I know who you're talking about.
That's my guy.